I need to check. Excuse me while I check. Okay. YouTube.com evblog 2. Yep. I'm live. Oh, I should have done this. Oh, no, that was dumb. I should have done this using, what's the name? StreamYard. That was dumb. Anyway, all right. What was I thinking? Disable that. Comments up. Audio's good. Greetings from California. Okay, good to go. Yeah, yep. I'll pop out the chat. I want all chat. And I want to pop out the chat. And what I can do, hang on, have the tools, have the talent. Because this is not required. Oh. I can do this. I can do it. Give me a second. All right. Yep. All right. I'm good to go. We're back. Look at this. Look at this. I have a random number generator. I have the live chat. And I have the list of people. Sorry, I have not redacted names. I did say this was, it would be made public. So if you've entered, but I will hide your email address. So some people have put anonymous stuff or nothing at all. Anyway, welcome. Hey, Def Bomb's in the house. I'm here. You can start now. Oh yeah, I should actually get the stuff, shouldn't I? Prove I actually have it, and you're lucky I have it because there's no more of these left. That's my last one, and there's no more of these left. That's my last one. That's the current probe and the 121. 121s though are due in another couple of days. I think they're probably, I think they're on the DHL truck or something. I don't know. So they're due. So what I'm doing, I'm giving away, as promised, a current probe, a high voltage probe, a 235, a 786, and a 121 GW. Geez, that's overly generous. Don't know what I was thinking. That's nuts. You know, I had to pay for these. I don't get them for free. But no, thank you to everyone who did the survey. The survey is very valuable to me, so that's why I'm giving away the prizes. So how many people we got? Don't know. It's in the afternoon. 49. Yeah. Would usually be a fair bit more than that if it was Yankee time. But it ain't. Hi from Seoul. Good morning, Munich. Survey for what? Zane's behind the 8 ball. Survey for the EEV blog. I surveyed everyone. I did a main channel video announcing it. And yeah, I did this live on the second channel, didn't I? Yes. EEV blog 2. Oh, I should actually. Hang on. Hold on to your hat. Hold on to your hat. I will... I'm live. There you go. All right. Now, what the frig? Jeez, just heard the news about Melbourne on Twitter. Anyway, let's not go there. All right. So, yep, I've now said I'm live. No. Yeah, there we go. All right, we're back. This is so messy. Live shows are so messy because you can't, for those who don't like, you can't pre-set up comments like this because I'm streaming this in XSplit, and XSplit doesn't let me, you know, this is just like I'm screen capturing this screen, and you can't pop up the chat for the video that you're doing until you start the live stream. So, you know, maybe there's a way to like pause it and then start, like, so it starts and you can get the chat up and then you can set go. I don't know. If you can do that, let me know. But anyway, it's always dicking around to be done. Hello from Italy. No soldering action. You're out, Thomas. Romania. Dominion Republic. Wow. First time I've actually been notified by YouTube on time. Sneakers. Oh, wow. Yeah, I do. There's so many videos I miss because YouTube just, like, I subscribe to however many channels and I get notification. I have the bell set for the ones that I want to be notified for video releases. You know, you just don't see them. It's just stupid. Shipping sucks globally right now. Should the winners expect the winnings to arrive in the middle of next year, maybe 2024? That would be the case if I was sending them via postal mail, but I'm not. These will go via DHL. So, yeah, by the way, yes, up front, I will say that, yes, you will be responsible for import duties on these things. So if you live in a country where that sucks, they might be broken. Yeah, they might be broken. They might be used broken test equipment. So, yeah. Just saying. Czech Republic, Finland, Vietnam. Woo! Hello from Fife? Who was that? Who was that next to their bench? Hey, it's Daniel. There you go. I can just, got my auto pop-up thing. There's his bench. There's workbench of the week. There you go. There's Daniel. Got scope overload there. Good stuff, Flick 87. Nice. Excellent. Nice bench. Hello from India. DHL, why the sad? DHL's great. I love DHL. Do all my stuff through DHL. So yes, you will get it. You will definitely get it. DHL is not really delayed. Maybe like there's a day delay or something, like, you know, maybe 2 days or something, you know, depending on certain things. But yeah, no, it'll get there quick. And you can drive up to collect. Kieran's nearby to Norwest. New York State. Geez, it must be late in New York State. It must be like 2 a.m. in the morning or something. Poland. Crikey, mate. From Christian. Germany. Still hasn't made it to Melbourne here in mid-July. Yeah, well, Australia Post announced, it wasn't in July. Australia Post announced about a month ago now, 3-4 weeks ago, that they would stop processing parcel post satchels. They would only do the express post satchels. And like a day before, I had just bought like $1,500 worth of parcel post satchels. Bastards. So I had to go out and buy Express Post satchels, because if I ship them locally, then I ship in Australia Post Express Post satchels. So I had to go out and buy a whole bunch of Express Post satchels. Bastards. I think they are definitely shipping again, but yeah, I'm still using up my Express Post satchels I bought. Didn't know how long it was going to last. Unbelievable. Mixed experience with DHL in Germany. I mean, DHL is Deutsch. Come from Germany. You would think it would be good in Germany. Even locally here, I use DHL. If I sell something on eBay, like a scope or something, like a big, item, used bit of kit that I've got to send, I don't send Australia Post. It takes forever to get there. Who knows what's going to happen to it? And it's actually, because I've got great terms on my account with DHL, it's actually cheaper for me to send big, large, heavy items via DHL than is via Australia Post. And it gets there like next day. Like there's just no contest on sending big stuff here in Australia. It's just great. And even my overseas rates are probably on par, or even in some cases a little bit cheaper than Australia Post. And Australia Post will take months to get there. It depends on the local post system, because they hand it off to the other country. And yeah, so anyway, so yeah, DHL equals good. Run the same as USA, where they took out the automation for efficient reasons. No, I don't think they've automated things more. Hang on, I've got to have a drink, because I went for a bloody run before this. So I've cooled down. Still got the aircon on. I've cooled down. Probably smell. I don't know. But I don't take any water when I go for a run. I actually don't take anything. I even got another key cut for the office, where I just take the key. That's it. I don't take anything. Don't take my shoe phone, anything like that. I just bugger off and yep, just go light. Anyway, what was I going to say? Smoke ending soon. Still got the fires there. Who won? No one yet, because I'm slow. I was going to say something. What was I going to say? The Australia Post automation. They were so automated that when they changed their bloody barcodes on their satchels, and their barcodes went from like a 16-digit thing to like this 40-digit thing. And when you scanned it in with my old barcode scanner, with my barcode scanner reader, because I don't type in the tracking numbers, I scan them in, and it just simulates the keyboard. So you just put your cursor into the field that requires it, and you hit the trigger, and it scans it and puts it in. Well, that 40-digit number that was in the bloody new barcodes they've got, yeah, loser, where in the new barcodes they've got, that would not work for the tracking number. So the full 40-digit thing, or whatever it is that you scanned in, did not work as the tracking number. It was like this 16-digit number embedded in the middle. So there was stuff before and there was stuff after that your scanner doesn't know how to get rid of. You have to have like an Australia Post approved scanner that is able to extract just the information from there. Anyway, so I think I asked on Twitter or somewhere, or the forum or something, and somebody said, use what is it? Auto hotkey, which is a macro-y, Windowsy macro-y thing. Probably works on Linux as well. And so I wrote a little script for that then extracted the digits out. So now I run an auto hotkey program first, and then I scan that in, and I copy and paste, boop, copy paste, and it's a bit of extra step, but bloody annoying. Anyway, that was bloody Australia Post changed it all. What are my thoughts on the Commodore VIC-20? I was never into the VIC-20. It was how much? I don't know how much cheaper it was than the Commodore 64. I mean, the Commodore 64 was it. It was the duck's guts right at the time. The VIC-20. I don't think it was that. It wasn't hugely popular, was it? The VIC-20 might have been for a little while, but then once the Commodore 64 came out, I think everyone went for the Commodore 64, unless you were really strapped for cash. You went for the VIC-20. So, yeah. Do I have a VIC? No, I don't. Geez, do I have a VIC-20 down in the dumpster? Bunker. I don't know. You need a Jägermeister shelf like Big Clive. I don't drink like Big Clive. Oh, someone said Great Scott is here. Great Scott. No. Hi, Alexi and Great Scott. Symbol scanners have a way to program so you can get rid of the pre-income, but yeah, mine didn't. Mine didn't, Will. So, yep. Oh, no, it was supposed to. It had that functionality, but it didn't work. For some, it just wouldn't do it. So, yeah, screw that. So, yeah, I just use this auto hotkey script, and it works. Yeah, I could fix the problem. I could save myself a little couple of seconds of hassle by cutting and paste, by buying a proper scanner that actually supported that. But, yeah. Oh, right. Yes, DEFCON Mom's name is Scott. Sorry for causing confusion. Right. Hiya, Sonia. All right. Commodore 64 or Amiga 500. Oh, well, the Amiga 500 was vastly superior. It can be a pain to program, huh? Anyway, everyone's here for the draw. So I'll do like random chat shit afterwards. Let's do the draw. Do I plan on an update video about microsupply? Yeah, I've had all my microsupplies sitting there. They're sitting over there. There's like 8 prototypes or something. Like I was going to go through like the history of the microsupply and then do an update. Basically, the update is that there is no update. I'm not working on it. I have no plans to work on it. I was just going to say like where it actually got to and stuff. And I've even released the software for it like yonks ago. Anyway, let's go. Let's do the draw, shall we? So I'm going to draw. So I got 5 items. So I'm going to draw them in value order, I think, roughly. So a BM235. BM235 in the no bullshit packaging. There you go, no bullshit packaging. And what do we got? Right, the way I'm going to do this is I have a list. Here's the list which I extracted from the survey. And it goes for a long time. There's like 3,600. So about 400 people didn't bother to enter. So you have 5 chances in 3,697. Here it is, 3,697. So I need to put this over here. 3,697. Everyone's usually happy with random.org, with me using random.org. So I do these live draws, just people know that it's above board, So there you go. There's everyone's name. I think it was sorted by email address or something because I had to get rid of the ones that didn't have any detail. So anyway, I do have, so these are all the people who have an associated email address, which is on another tab here. So I've taken out those and they match up the numbers, so I'll be able to contact you if you win. So here you go, BM235. And if you don't reply within, I don't know, a couple of days or something, maybe a week, I'll redraw them. It's happened before. So here you go. All right. Yeah, the packaging, brilliant. Yes, I actually wanted plain brown, but they said no. White's the only thing we can do. I wanted like plain brown packaging, but I don't know if anyone knows. Like, if it I don't know, does it just come? That's the stock that they have. That's like the blank stock that they have, and then they cut them out, and they can't buy brown stock without the white coating. Because why coat it? I just wanted plain brown, but anyway. All right. 1 in 740 chance. Yes. All right. 0.02% chance of winning. Sorry. Never tell me the odds. Never tell me the odds. The odds of successfully navigating an asteroid field are... Here we go. So the ones that correspond to the row in the spreadsheet, they win the BM235. So here you go. 71. I just did a test before to make sure it actually did something. So here we go. Generate 3,548. 3,548. 5, 4, 8. Volta. The silent J. Vota K. Congratulations, BM235. BM235, which was 3548, which was what? I don't know. Someone tell me how to pronounce that. I am like the world's worst pronouncer. Anyway, BM235. There you go. BM786, also in the no bullshit packaging. Here we go. See, the residential mathematicians are helping work out the numbers. Brown box would actually be a printed box. White side brown, right, would actually, right, you think it would be printed brown, Sean? I don't know. I thought adding the white would be like an extra like layer on the outside. I thought like that when you naturally make the cardboard, it's brown. Am I wrong? That's why most cardboard boxes are brown, aren't they? Anyway, yeah, BM786. BM786, 121GW, and HVP70. And what is it? I can never remember the bloody name. Bloody model number? Yes, it's the CP2100B. CP2100B. All right. 786 goes to 125. Geez, we're going from one extreme to the other, aren't we? 125. It's rigged. It's not random. Andre, once again, 125. Andre, KLDJ, come on. There's no way I'm going to be able to do that. I don't know which one's silent there. There's got to be one, at least one or two silent. White is just bleached stock. Yeah, right. Yeah, I did ask for raw cardboard, Morin, but yeah, they said they couldn't do it. Unbleached, uncoated stock. Yeah, I don't know. They just said they wouldn't do it. So maybe I'll ask again. Maybe it's changed. That was like way back, like 5-6 years ago. All right. So congratulations, Andre. So 121GW, also in the no bullshit packaging. Here we go, 121GW. One annoying thing is that when I did the recent 786, they included the flap. Now, all of their products include the flap. These are, like, it's got the little punched out thing on it, and I completely forgot about that. Like, they sent me the proof for the, like, they sent it to you in, like, a, you know, a exploded diagrammatic form, how it's all folded out, and they say, you know, please approve. And I didn't think about the top flap, whereas I expressly told them way back on the BM235, yeah, I don't want this display hanger thing so that you hang them on the store shelf, you know, those rack thing, you know, you hang them on the rack or whatever. I didn't want that because it's rather annoying. It just flaps around in the breeze up there. It's annoying in packing and shipping and stuff. So anyway, yeah, my next batch I might have to ask them that. The typical sheet for the box maker is an A0 sheet, yeah. Printed on offset press, then cut with a die to get the boxes. Yep, dealt with a lot of printers. Yeah. I don't know if they die or laser. Would they laser cut these days? Don't know. Sorry, 125 is not visible. Thank you. Sorry. I don't have transparent Dave head today. I couldn't be bothered. That's why you see me in the different orientation. So if I look over here at the screen, then my eyes are actually off in that direction. No, yeah, they're off that direction or whatever. Anyway. Whereas when I do the green screen, I actually flip the image. You don't know it's been flipped, but it's been flipped so that my eyes, because my camera's on the right-hand side of the screen, so it's just above on the top right. So when I look at the screen, when you flip the image in the software, it makes me look like I'm actually watching the screen. Like I could just move the image like over to here, you know. Oh, that was dumb. yeah, I could just move the, yeah, I could just move the, move the image over to here, and then my eyes would look in the right direction. But usually that I find it better to be on this side, because when you're doing screen captures and stuff, it has less effect, less overlaid of, you know, things that are important. Anyway, 121 GW, here we go. 1412. Oh, now we're smack in the middle. This is not random. It's not random. Don't believe it. I think it's rigged. 1412. Oh my goodness. Yeah, ASCII character mistake. So what do we got? 1412. So congratulations. 1412. Yeah, HA with a squiggle and then a quarter, and then bag hay. Congratulations, 121 GW. Goes to, maybe that's Hassan, I would assume. Yeah, but sometimes the ASCII set doesn't do the special characters properly. So there you go. Someone's put Sponge. Someone's called themselves Sponge. I wonder if Sponge is going to win it. What are the odds of it coming out 2 away from the previous winner? In theory, they're exactly the same as anything else, but, you know. Anyway. All right. I think the one... I don't know which is cheaper. Anyway, the 2100B current probe. So, you know, that's the upside down current probe. All the electrons are going to fall out. So this is my last one. I don't know when I'm getting stock of these. So this is my absolute last one. I've sold out. So CP2100B. Here we go. 2924. I'm going to go up. Oh, hang on. No. 2924. 29, Ronald Figueroa. 2924. Congratulations, Ronald. Yep, I got that right. Is anyone actually in the chat who's won? I doubt it. Oh. People will be going nuts if someone was in there. There cannot be multiple entries. Oh, okay. No, actually, if you had different Google accounts, I guess you could. Really? But that wasn't Sun. But Adrian didn't win. So anyway, okay. Yeah, I guess. Well, if you got different, yeah, I don't know a way to get around that. Actually, if you've got multiple Google accounts and you filled out the survey 10 times, then, well, I guess you get 10 entries. Didn't think about that. Almost all of them, Sarah. Sarah won last time, didn't you, Sarah? Are you still waiting? I'm sure it was Sarah who won last time. Won one of the Keysight things. I'll let Sarah reply. I think it was Sarah who won one of the Keysight ones. Or is my memory going bonkers on me? I will remember that for next time, says David. What? Whackman? He won the last comp? What? The same person? Wow. Really? Why is 2941 empty? Oh, yeah, some people just leave that field blank, but their email address will be there. Yeah, it definitely will be there. So, yeah, like you didn't have to put your name in there. You could have put, I guess you could have left it blank, in theory. If you didn't want your name being made public and you didn't want to make something up, then, yeah. Hamburg. I've been to Hamburg. I love Hamburg. Spent a couple of weeks in Hamburg. Could have used a second one the other day, DEFCON. Yeah, they're handy. Yes. Sarah won the function generator. Still waiting. Yeah, Daniel sent me a ruler and a letter apologising for the delay. That was nice of him. He's a top bloke, Daniel. And hope he's not going to be booted out of Keysight because he's not vaccinated. I have no idea if he's in. That was a thing I tweeted today. That was a Keysight thing. Follow my tweets if you want to see news like that. Anyway, oh really? A Keysight winner was Hashad, but yeah, that's too much of a coincidence. Yeah, that's got to be it. Although, oh no, by Agdi. Okay, no, different spelling. Yep, yeah, you noticed it too, Whackman. Yes, Sarah won. Yeah, the functions, yeah, that's it. Yeah, they've been having component shortages. No such issues for the 121 GW. I'm getting new stock. It's on the truck or whatever. So, yeah, there's none of that component shortage rubbish in South Korea. So, yeah, it's great. Yeah, these South Koreans, they used, I think, I don't know if every single part in there is from South Korea, but they bent over backwards to get everything from South Korea. So, yeah. Anyway, they can still get them, or they had stock or whatever, so it's not a problem. Yep. But the BM235, I cannot get these until at least end of February 2022. Cannot get them. Just component, there's one chip they cannot get. I think it's the main processor, actually. They cannot get it. And they've exhausted all their stock. I cleaned them out completely. I've got like 2 boxes left, and that's it. I'm done. The 786s, I've got more of those coming. So they seem to be okay, but they've got component delays as well. So, yeah. They sit there for weeks. Yeah. Anyway, right, probably the most expensive. Not sure which one's the most expensive, but anyway, the high voltage probe 70. I think I don't have many of those left, actually. I'm very short on. I'm going to have to order more of these too. Because Mixig have not come through on their high voltage probe yet. So I was going to discontinue this one and run with the Mixig because it's cheaper. But even though, it's practically as good. It's almost as good. The specs are supposed to be the same, but the performance of this is actually better. Yeah, they had issues with it, which I sent a video back to them showing the problems that they had, and I think they've fixed it now, but they haven't contacted me. So I had to go back and order the HVP70 from Sapphire. Sapphire is the one who makes that. So, yep. Who just got bought out. They just go, well, they did. This was a year ago. They got bought out. I don't know who bought them, though. Anyway. They were almost going to shut up shop because the owner was retiring and they just, I don't know, they sold it at the last minute. Yep, it's a draw for a bowl of soup. Anyway, yeah, HVP 70. We've got one more to go. Here we go. 3170. Daniel Somongi. There is not a single name I've pronounced correctly today. Well done, me. 3170. Yep. Yeah, I don't believe any of the Keysight winners have got their gear. Because all of the new Keysight Basic, it must be like a common component or components in the new Keysight Basics series, because they're the ones I gave away, and it's not just my ones, it's the ones for the the contest, the yearly contest thing they held, the Keysight contest thing, hundreds of winners, and I think it depends on what it is, but yeah, a lot of them have not received their thing yet, because what's it been? Jeez, 6 months, maybe 4 or 5 months, Sarah. Yeah, I feel terrible, but unfortunately out of my control. It's out of their control too. yeah, so that's it. Congratulations to all those people. So I will contact them, yes, tonight. Contact them tonight after I finish this. So there you go. That's 5 winners. Geez, that cost me a pretty penny. Throw in shipping. Shipping for all those is over. Just shipping for those is, it depends on the country. Geez, I hope they're in reasonably cheap countries. Like some countries are expensive. Some countries might be $40 or $50 to ship that. It depends. My average cost to ship stuff overseas, it's $25. I actually charge all my store prices. They're charged at cost. So that's what I'm charged via DHL. I don't put any padding on that. In fact, I don't even know if because they increased prices lately. I don't even know if I increased shipping to compensate. So I might be making a loss on the shipping. Yep. Frogs. Sorry, frogs. Not so much a shortage, but rather that long lead times and lots of suppliers thought there would be a glut. So stop production. Yeah, that was the problem, Sean. They, when COVID happened, a lot of the component manufacturers went, holy crap, nobody's going to buy anything. Like everyone's going to, this whole COVID thing is going to shut down everything. Nobody's going to buy anything. We better stop making stuff. And so they stopped making stuff. And when everyone realized that no, everyone's now at home and they're bored shitless and the only thing they can do is online shopping, boom, the sales went through the roof and then all the manufacturers put their orders back in. So all these factories are shut down, manufacturing the components, the fabs or whatever, they're all shut down. And then all of a sudden they started getting these floods of huge orders from all the suppliers, car manufacturers and phone manufacturers and oscilloscope manufacturers and whoever it is. They all started placing all these orders, and the factories went, we can't do this. Like, we can't make everyone's stuff at once. We've been flooded. So the entire production pipeline was just, it was just clogged, and it's still clogged. And yeah. And then, of course, everyone started hoarding. Then the hoarding started, of course. So then it just, it was like toilet paper hoarding, except there really was a shortage of parts after that. Unlike toilet paper, there was never any shortage. It was just panic on people's parts. But so that's what caused the whole component shortage thing. And they're not going to recover for, I don't know, some manufacturers are saying another year, 2 years even, like crazy. FedEx may be cheaper than DHL. No, I think I went from, I looked at FedEx prices way back and they weren't as good. Anyway, I'm actually, surprisingly, I am one of DHL's biggest customers here in Australia, believe it or not. Because most Australian sellers, like online retailers and stuff, they don't ship overseas. They pretty much cater for the local market, whereas 90 to 95% of my orders are all overseas. So I'm sending out, 50 items a week or something. And, there's very few suppliers in Australia who ship out the amount of express stuff that I do. So I'm one of their big express customers. So I get really good rates. I get personalized service. They even come around and, talk to me and stuff and solve all my problems and everything. Yeah, I'm one of their biggest clients. So yeah, for their express, their overseas express service. So yeah, there you go. Who would have thought? Australia Post it might be a little bit cheaper in some circumstances, but in many other circumstances, it's more expensive. Jeremy. It's Australia Post. And then it takes forever. And then Australia Post hand over to the local postage service in that country. And then there's delays for them. So even if Australia Post are very efficient in getting it to the country, the local postal service in that particular country might just be crap. And I was getting, for years, donkey's years, for 10, 15 years or something, I was shipping stuff via international Australia Post overseas. And you have to fill out the CN22 customs form, Oh, God, that was a nightmare. I can remember hand doing the CN22s. I got a custom stamp made to put my name and address and everything that was formatted for the CN22 form, so I'd have to write out less, but you'd still have to write out, various things. Oh, man, no, never again. God, how much of my life wasted filling out CN22 customs forms. And then it takes forever. So I was using the DHL e-commerce service, and that's cheaper than Full Express. And I was using that for several years, but I eventually ditched it because they do the same thing. It uses the DHL planes to get usually, but it could be on another plane, another carrier, to get to the country. But once it's in the country, it's handed over to the local postage system, and then you lose the DHL tracking. So the tracking works up to the point where it enters the country, and then it'll sit in customs there forever. And I got so many complaints that people, it'd sit in customs forever and it just wouldn't get processed, and the tracking would suddenly die on it. So I just said, no, it's not worth saving the money. It's not worth offering a lower cost service where I've got it, where that's just shit. It just isn't worth it. And it wasn't worth my hassle of having to deal with it. Yep, screw that. You're hoarding silicon frogs and lithium. Hey Dave, got a great deal on a 4-head pick and place. Oz, but it's too big for my single bedroom. Is there room in your new bunker? Technically, there is. Sino, bro. What pick and place? I can't imagine myself going down the pick and place rabbit hole. But yeah, the fleeting thought has crossed my mind. Technically, yes, I have room for it in the new storage room downstairs. What actual model is it? Because I've still got that kit. I've still got that light placer or something? That kit that I didn't build. I've still got the pick and place kit. So yeah, it's too big for your single bedroom. It must be a small pick and place. If it's too big for you, like if you're going to buy it for a single bedroom, holy crap. Yeah, they will quote DHL and FedEx quote absurd prices for one-off customers, but it goes down fast for businesses. Look, as I said, like if I sell a big item on eBay, like, a big heavy scope that weighs, 20, 30 kilos or something like that, I can ship that via DHL in Sydney for like $20, right? That's like, it's a bargain. Right, and if it has to go to a different state, it might be $40 or something. It's like it's cheap, and Australia Post will charge you, $150. I get some really good deals on DHL because I'm a big account customer. But yeah, if you go to the website and just ask for a one-off quote, or you turn up there and ask them to ship it, yeah, you get charged absurd prices. Can I repeat who won, Carol? No, I can't, because I can't pronounce the names. One of them's highlighted, Daniel Somnamyi, Vota K, Andre Kiljoin, Harum, the first word was scrambled, but H. Baghai, Daniel Somnier, and Ronald Figura are the winners. There you go. Hey, everyone. Extra for handling fee on what is already paid for shipping. Yeah, the surprise charge when the thing arrives, Sarah. It depends on the country. And I will also pay, I'm still paying an emergency surcharge, which is an additional fee on each package because of the COVID situation. Yeah, and then there's a fuel surcharge, so I pay the shipping rate plus a fuel surcharge, which depends on the distance it's going and stuff like that. There's some formula that they've got to calculate it, and then an emergency surcharge as well on top of that, because we're still in emergency conditions. Yes, I still have that DSA I gave up fixing a few years ago. it isn't worth shipping, even though I just crapped on about how cheap the shipping is. Unfortunately, overseas shipping is not cheap. Yeah, still got it. It's in pieces somewhere in the bunker. Do I ship to Portugal? No, I don't. Yes, I do. I do ship to Portugal reasonably often, actually. I get quite a few orders from Portugal. I have no complaints that I recall about delays. But the thing is, I use DHL Express, and that's door-to-door express DHL using their own trucks and planes and stuff. So I avoid the postal system. So yeah, that's why I probably haven't had any complaints. What's my equivalent US mail via Australia? We use Australia Post, which is our national carrier, and they can do overseas as well. But they have, deals with overseas with every country so they hand it over to the local service. That's why I like the DHLs, because it's a door-to-door service, fully tracked, fully insured, fully tracked. You pay a bit more for it, but not a huge amount over, when they actually approached me. DHL approached me. It wasn't because I was complaining about the delays and the lost packages in their e-parcel system, but they approached me and they go, they weren't phasing it out, but they were no longer encouraging that customers use the e-commerce system, which is where the packages are handed over to the local postage service in that particular country it's going to, and that's why it's a bit cheaper than the full express door-to-door service. I guess DHL were receiving too many complaints about the tracking going missing, and it wasn't DHL's fault. It's because it's handed over to the local postage system, and depends on which country it is, your tracking just dies completely once it hits the shores. Or in some countries it might get changed over, but then you get a different tracking number with the local system, and that's not fed back through the shipping system, and DHL don't know about it, and it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. So yeah, so they actually phoned me up and said, hey, we're not encouraging people to use the e-commerce system. And I go, well, it's still pretty cheap. I like giving people the option for like a cheaper, service that'll take longer and it might get delayed. I used to have a note on my store saying, if you choose the e-commerce option, it handed over to your local shipping, so your local postage system, and tracking might get lost, and people would still buy it. And then they came to me and said, well, look, we want to not phase it out, but we'd encourage you to use Express for everything. And I said, well, Express is more expensive. And they go, we can sharpen our pencil on that. So they sharpened their pencil and gave me, they didn't match the e-commerce rates, but they got as close as they could. And once they did that, I just went, yeah, why am I dicking around with the e-commerce system? Just use door-to-door express service. So yeah, it still is a bit expensive in some countries. There's like eight different zones around the world, and if you're in like zone number 8, yeah, you're going to pay a lot. But there's only like a handful. Afghanistan, I don't know, North Korea. There's these like troublesome regions that they do zone 8s, and it costs a lot more. So, but technically they can do it. So yep. Just a bit of fodder for the real estate searches, like Sydney versus, you paid $15,000 US for a 3-bed, 2-bathroom in Arkansas. 15,000 US. Okay, that's about what, 25 grand Aussie at the moment? I don't know, 23 grand Aussie or something like that. Wow, I don't think there's a single, last I looked, there was not a single house in the entire country of Australia that you could get for that sort of price. Even in the most remote tin pot town, maybe, that'd be a video actually. I was going to do a video because quite a few people asked for it, the cheapest house in Sydney, and then I might go do the follow up that with the cheapest house in Australia that I can find. Yeah, and I can tell you, just my storage unit downstairs cost multiples of that. Yeah, just for 31 square meter brick thing. Anyway, yeah, it's just nuts. Well, that's absolutely how big's the land in square meters? Square foot, we can just divide by 10. How many square foot do you get in your land, Jeremy, for your 15 grand US? That's unbelievable. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, it's nuts. Why would you, like, especially in the US when you've got more choices? It's different here in Australia. Like, we've only got, like, the major capital cities, you know, handful of major capital cities, and then there's a couple of big cities outside of that. But outside of that, like, you know, whereas the US has hundreds of different options for, you know, large cities to actually live in. Here, if you want really, even like really dirt cheap, man, it's a tin pot town in the middle of freaking nowhere. In the middle of whoop whoop, as we call it. Yeah, I mispronounced frogs in the winner list. Said my name wrong. Yeah. Oh, they contract different flights, do they, Brendan? But still, but they're tracking. They still guarantee the tracking and everything else. So, yeah. So yes, I'll get Jeremy. Jeremy will tell us, I'm sure. Lot is 50. 50. What? Lot is 50 feet by 140 feet. Oh, geez. So house is, okay, so what's that? 50 times 140. 7,000. So that's 700 square meters. That's a little bit smaller than my house here in my land here in Sydney, which is about 750. So that's an average block of land here in Sydney. Wow, 700 square meters. Nice. Huh. Arkansas is back in 1920s though. Yeah, but still, you know, I mean, yeah, it's, but still, I can guarantee you that Arkansas is better than any tin pot town here in Australia. Like more opportunities, more jobs, and things like that. Guaranteed. Oh, there was an article, homes in Australia, the homes for less than 100,000, and they're all in places in the middle of nowhere you've never heard of. Yep. One under 100,000 is really difficult to get. Dave, I hear that it is hard to make a decent, Mike S. Hard to make a decent wage in EE projects. Is this true? Unless you're niche and super specialised. As a software developer, it's much easier to earn 120K a year. Totally open-ended question. Like, there's a million answers to that. It depends on where you are. It depends on what your skill set is. It depends on your local market. I could not give you an answer to that apart from saying, as I've said in many of my videos, if you're good enough, there's always a job. If you're good enough, you won't be out of work if you're good enough. So yeah, you can make a decent wage as an EE, 120K a year. That'd be, I assume you're in the US. I assume you're talking Yankee bucks. Like here, the average engineer in Australia, geez, I haven't checked for a decade, but the average engineer here in Australia, you know, experienced engineer would be on over 100K. If you weren't getting 100K, you were, you know, you'd probably be getting a bit changed. It depends on the job though. But yeah, like 80 would be like a minimum kind of like engineering job these days. I don't know how, you know, I haven't checked recent prices, but yeah, you could certainly earn six figures as an engineer. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, software is just nuts. Like, you know, I hear about these software engineers working at, you know, software engineers in Silicon Valley, mainly like on $500,000 plus options or something. You know, it's like, it's crazy. You know, it's just the going rate for San Francisco, Silicon Valley, and, you know, San Jose and places like that, because your rent's there so expensive. So you got to, you know, buy a house or rent there. You know, it'll cost you $200,000 a year, won't it, or something? So that's why they have to pay them all, like, you know. So yeah, software developers. So anyway. Oh, any upcoming stream? Oh, for Death Bomb. Question for Death Bomb. in Chicago, you get a 5x5 room for $2,500 a month. Oh man, that's terrible. That is awful. Wow. 2019 is when you paid for that. Wow. Yeah. Fantastic. Daniel paid $315,000 US for a 2-bed, 1-bath, 100 square meter house. Decent, which, you know, that's like an average size house. 371 square meter. Oh, and a 371 square meter workshop. Wow, on 6 acres. Wow. On you, Daniel. Yeah, one of my regrets is not buying a larger house and land. Like I've just got no room to build a workshop out the back. My land is, yeah, it's 750 square meters, but I've got 5 neighbors. It's an odd shaped bit of land. There's lots of it that isn't really usable, and we just can't expand. We're thinking about, we added a room on the back, and that's all we could do horizontally. We're now kind of sort of thinking about going up and building an extra room on top, but it wouldn't be a workshop. It'd be for when the kids get older and stuff. Yeah, even though we had a 4-bedroom house, it wasn't that big. The 4th bedroom was my study, and it was my old, where I used to edit videos and stuff. You've probably seen old, you know, there's old videos of me recording the amp hour in there and stuff, and it was tiny, 4th bedroom. So we added on a huge, big double size back room to the house, and that cost us $100,000 to add that one room on the back of the house. Here you go. What, 4 or 5 years ago or something? To add that one room on the back of the house, that cost $100,000. Yeah, Aussie, that is. Although it was 80,000. It was only 80 to actually do it, but because we had a sewer easement under it, they had to get in the backhoes and rip up all of that and actually replace all the sewer. So that like cost an extra 20 grand or something. And yeah, and they had to reseal it with concrete. I've probably posted photos of it or something. Yeah, so that was $100,000 just to add one room to our house. So yeah, so that is one of my regrets. I do regret not buying a bigger. You know, I was a tight ass at the time. You know, you know, this was 17 years ago. We've had the house, maybe 18. But even back then, I thought that was a crap load of money, you know, but I should have. Like, I should have ponied up an extra 100 or 200,000 back then and bought a bigger block. Now it's like, yeah, we're just priced, you know, like we wouldn't do it. So we're stuck where we are. Speaking of which, I've got a video, which I'm going to do. I've got various notes here. In fact, I came up with... yeah, I got it like I won't show you all the detail, but anyway, I came up with, I'm going to sort of like draw this up properly. And what it is I was prompted to do this by Lewis Rossman's video. He did a video recently, Lewis Rossman, where he was complaining about how he made a big mistake, and when he rented the new lab, he moved labs. Workshops, and he rented this big space just before COVID happened, and he's kicking himself, and he said, oh, it's cost me $200,000. I pissed away $200,000 down the drain for this bigger space that I don't need. And I went, 200 grand, that's nothing. I'll double that. So yeah, so basically what I've got here is a basically, I was going to do a video where I showed how a decision 5 years ago, in fact, it goes back to 2015, a decision in 2015 when I decided not to buy just behind that wall there, came up for sale. I was in here at the time, and next door came up for sale, and it was like 75 square meters or something, and my one's 50 square meters, and I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it because I thought that plus this was too much combined capital in the one building. Like I could have, you know, taken out the loan to get it. I could have, you know, 4% interest or whatever. And yeah, and I could have got it in the extra space. And then, of course, 9 months after I turned that down, then I decided, no, like I started having David working for me. He was working part-time or something, so we were squeezed in here. We had 2 people. We were doing packing and shipping and the lab and everything. And I wanted a window as well. You know, I wanted wanted some fresh air and a window and a balcony and everything. So I rented a second smaller place where I did all the video editing. So all the lab stuff was here, but packing and shipping and video editing was done there. So I rented that for 2 years, and then we decided, oh no, it's better if we can. I ran the numbers. It was better if I consolidated everything, the lab, the packing and shipping, and all 3 employees into the one space. So I rented the 100 square meter space, moved everything into there, moved my entire lab out of here. And then I rented this place because I own this place. I rented this place, and then I rented that for 2 years, the 100 square meter place, actually twice the size of this. So basically this is going to be a choose your own adventure kind of thing. Okay, how much would I have been ahead if I made the decision in 2015 to buy that place next door versus what I did? What I ended up doing and was not forced to do. Anyway, so yeah, and I can tell you there's a big difference. I was like, I'm $344,000 better off or something. Like, so Lewis Rossman and his, $200,000. It's like, Anyway, yeah, so I thought that'd make an interesting video. Should I put that on the... I don't think it's main channel worthy. It might just be a second channel thing. I don't want to put finance and, life advice stuff. But I just thought that would be an interesting thing, and showing how, two different branches. This is buying the place, this is not buying the place, and then and how the financials filter down through the next 6 years to come to the conclusion that I would have been better off buying that place next door. Way better off financially. So yeah, that was dumb. Yep. Power's insanely unstable, Mike, on your 3.5 acres. But yeah, I could build a huge lab. Yeah. You already run out of space. What? In this 3,000 foot apartment? Oh, you've got land. It's okay. So you've bought land. But you're living in an apartment. Yeah. Smart move. Land bank. Buy land. They're not making any more of it. Michael Beattie, would I consider leaving Sydney? Better values in parts of Australia. That is correct. There is better parts and values in parts of Australia. Just, like an hour's drive from Sydney is better value. No, I would not consider leaving Sydney. It's not an option because kids. Once you have kids, your life changes. And then, so our kids love the house we're in. They would not want to move. They love their neighbours. They love their school. They would be absolutely devastated if we had to move. They'd be absolutely devastated. And then we've got parents as well who live nearby. Cole's parents are just around the corner, right? They're just around the corner from our house. So yeah, there's a family aspect thing there. Yeah, so no. It's never going to happen. We're never going to leave Sydney. We're never even going to... If we were going to move, we would move into a bigger house near the same school, because we don't want to, change schools. So it would have to be a bigger house somewhere in the region, So yeah, no, it's just not an option. Choose wisely before you get married and have kids. I'm telling you. Yep. Because it's hard on the kids. You couldn't, if we absolutely have to, if there was no choice, we were going to go bankrupt or something like that, then yeah, of course, sometimes shit happens in life like that, and you have to, but we don't have to. So it's just not happening. It's just not happening. Yep. But we don't have to, because we're okay financially. So they bought a 4-bed, 2,200 square foot bar sitting on 10 acres for 100K. Yeah, nuts. Unfortunately, something like that, you would not get a 4-bedroom house here for 100K in anywhere but the back of Burke, somewhere, as we say. All right, it's just, yeah, it's nuts. Yep, the US just has much more options. Rossman's money decisions does seem to be more misses than hits. Yeah, but you can't, he's certainly, he's beaten himself up over that. I don't know why. You know, nobody saw the COVID thing coming. Nobody. He, you know, so he made the decision before COVID hit, and now, well, COVID hit and he doesn't need the space anymore because he doesn't have the walk by business or whatever, however it unfolded. It's like, you know, well, I don't know how he's getting out of his, because he's looking for another space now. He's going to start a new rental series. So yeah, he's actually trying to get out of his rent. I don't know how he's going to leave, because I thought he had like a 10-year lease or something insane like that. Maybe there's some clause in there that he can actually escape from, but I don't know how he's going to escape it. Here, you won't get out of your lease here. No one's going to let you get out of your lease. They'd have to be very generous to let you escape from your lease. Let's put it that way. Or you'd have to declare bankruptcy, and then you're screwed. Then you wouldn't ever get... You wouldn't get a loan again. You'd be screwed. So yeah, Rossman is just public with his mistakes. He's still more successful than a lot of us. Of course he is. Vastly more successful than 99% of people. Regret is always 20/20 hindsight. Yeah, simply recognize the error and move on. Yeah. But I thought, you know, but I'll still go through with my video, I think, of how, you know, just because I think it's interesting. And people might learn something, you see. Like, it's not like I regret not buying that thing. It's like, okay, you know, it happened. I made the decision at the time for what I thought was decent reasons. And it just, yeah, turns out that wouldn't have been great. But it's not fantastic. I still wouldn't have a window, right? That was another reason, right? It still didn't have a window, right? Technically, I can see kind of out the front door and I'd be able to see some sky, but it's like, it isn't the same, you know. It isn't the same. Yeah. You tried to buy 6 acres a few months ago. Damn bank wouldn't loan, even though my existing equity in my current place would have covered it. Yes, DefPom, they will not. Banks will not loan money. At least here, they won't loan you money for land unless you have like a land home package and you've got a guaranteed contract to build the house. They generally will not loan you money for land. Yeah, that's same. That is the same here. Yep. I assume it's the same there. I assume that is the reason why. I assume it wasn't your personal finances. They just, they don't. No, you have to do it yourself. This is where becoming your own bank is the thing. Save up the money in your house and then get a credit facility on your house where you can spend the money any way you want. That's how I bought this lab. I paid cash for this lab. I owned it from day one because it came out of my home loan. We had been paying off our home loan like, you know, like crazy for, you know, years, like a decade or something. And then when the time came, we had that cash available in that loan that we could withdraw. I could have blown it. I could have bought a Ferrari, and I could have, you know, like blown it on booze and hookers and, you know, the whole works, right? But no, we bought this office, right? And they didn't get a say in it. The bank, they didn't care. I'm allowed to withdraw that money and use it however I like. And the bank has no say in it. So that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Become your own bank. And then you don't have to ask permission. You just do it. Yes, Andy, the housing market's gone through the roof during the pandemic. What's the time? Almost 6. My properties are up in total 34%. Yeah, Sydney here is up 40%. Sydney's up 40% in less than 12 months. 40% this year, I think it is, on average in Sydney. It's nuts. See you, Joey. If you don't have the information, it can't be a mistake. I agree. Yep. How many people we got watching, by the way? 89. It's not that many. It's the time of day. Booze and hookers would make a good video, though. Demonetized. Land is pretty much useless. It's the value of the stuff on it. Well, not here. Land's worth big money. I just got a leaflet under my door the other day. from the agents. In fact, I got 3 different agents, leaflets under the door. Do you want to sell your house? But one of them was bragging about the highest price ever paid for highest per square meter price per block of land in my suburb. It just had a record, and it was 1.69 million or 1.79 million or something just for the 1,000 square meter block of land in my suburb. Like that's nuts. Like it's just streets away from my house, right? Yeah, the land's a bit bigger than mine, 750 square meters, but that would put my house, technically my house is probably in a better location, maybe, I don't know. But that is a bigger block of land. But I thought my house was worth about that in the current market. But that's like, it's just land value now. I don't know, it's nuts. But then again, the value of your house goes up, goes down. Doesn't matter a rat's ass. I don't care. Although if it does go up, I can actually borrow more. So, so I guess it does matter. Rural properties prove worthless unless you're pricing the cost of getting the utilities. Yes. See you, Def Pom. Wait, Sarah, how does that become your own bank thing work? I've done a video on it. It wasn't a polished video. I've got a more polished video I might do. But anyway, it's me riding my bike around. It's on the EV Blog 2 channel. And basically it works by you buy your house or whatever it is, your apartment or whatever. You buy that and then you put all your cash into that. You pay it off like crazy. You pay it above the minimum repayment. And then here in Australia, it might work differently overseas, but you get what's called an offset loan and an offset bank account. And that money, instead of going into your home loan, any excess money you put in goes into this offset account, which is just a bank account. You can actually get a Visa card with it, a MasterCard or whatever as well, and you can just spend money in that account. It works like a normal account, but the interest you pay, the balance of the loan, is subtracted by the amount of money. So if you've got a loan that's $500,000, right? So your loan value is $500,000. If you've got $100,000 in your offset bank account, they calculate the interest on only $400,000. So they calculate it on the 500 minus whatever's in that offset account. So putting all of your cash into that account means that the interest drops fairly dramatically. And when we bought our house, we just paid it first 5 years. We were just paying in like crazy, Although we didn't sacrifice lifestyle and stuff, but we were, but we were paying in like crazy. And then you can withdraw that money at any time for anything you want. Like I said, I bought this office with the cash that I had built up in my home loan, and the bank get no say in it. They don't care. It's just a bank account. I can withdraw that money, do whatever I want with it. And they can't tell me, no, you can't buy that office, you can't buy that block of land, you can't buy that Ferrari, right? And you can do anything you want with it. So that's how becoming your own bank. And then once you've paid off your house, right? Well, technically you shouldn't pay off your house. Like you should leave like, $1,000 left to pay off or whatever. But then you can get lines of credit loans. So say your house is worth $1 million. They'll tip it, and you've put in over 20, 30 years or whatever, you've put in $1 million, you've paid off your house, right? And let's just assume it's still worth $1 million, but you paid, 100,000 for it. And over 20 years it went up to $1 million or whatever, right? It increased in value. Hang on. Yep, that was Mrs. EV Blog instructions to bring stuff home. Anyway, so let's say, you've paid it in, you've bought your house, it's gone up in value over time, so you might have paid $500,000 for it, you put in all your money, and it's now worth $1 million. you can get a line of credit loan, typically at 80%. Usually they'll lend you 80% of the value. It might be a bit lower, depends on your bank and your country and stuff. But let's say 80%. So they will loan you $800,000. And the way I've got my house set up, I've actually got 2 separate loans. And now my value of my house has gone up so much, I'm going to get another one. I've got 2 loan accounts, line of credit accounts. It might be called something different there. But I've got 2 bank accounts. I can just withdraw money for anything. So if I want to buy an investment property, I want to buy another lab or whatever, I just take the money out of there and I buy it. And they get no say in it. You don't have to sign any forms. You don't have to do anything. They don't question it. But you'll pay interest on that home loan. And the good thing about that is if you buy something like a commercial office like this, if you got a loan for this, if I bought this commercial office, the loan would be like at least double what the interest rates are for a home loan, because they're much more expensive. And you'd have to put down a 40% deposit instead of a 20 or 10% or even less deposit for a house, because actual commercial real estate's different from a banking point of view. It isn't as stable. It's not, they just get the heebie-jeebies. Oh, you want to buy a commercial office? Oh, your business is going to fail. And, no, it's a high-risk loan. So they'll ask for a 40% deposit. Whereas, if you withdraw the money from your own home loan, you're paying home loan interest rates for commercial property. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So that's how it works. Become your own bank. So basically, it's using your asset, which is your house that you live in. You have to live in. It could be some other asset. You could rent a place and have some investment property you do the same thing with. But I would really recommend the house that you live in. Put all your cash into there, and you can suck it back out anytime for anything. You're your own bank. That's how it works. It's great. Highly recommend it. You should aim to get to that place in life. UK estate agents are lazy bar stewards. They no longer visit the property to value them. They just look on Zoopla. Really? Wow. Maybe is that a COVID thing, or is that it's just that because they're actually just that lazy? Wow. Increasing without reason. Wow. Really? Pro engineer. We bought the worst house on the best street with the intent to renovate. It's now worked out to be far more cost effective to demolish and build a new one. Yeah. Doesn't surprise me. I did all my, I didn't do everything myself, but we bought, our house was in original 1987 condition. I think it was built in 87 or so late 80s. It's archways everywhere. Classic, classic 1980s archways. And we just ripped out, the archways and stuff. And like a bar, it had an archway with one of those 1980s bars, the little bar in the lounge room with the archway, if anyone knows those. I don't know if it's the same in the US and other countries, but here that was a thing in the 80s. And we converted that into a little storeroom thing. And yep. I don't think they had an offset account in the US, but I could be wrong. I'd be surprised if they don't have them. It's got to be called something else. Surely. That's what they're called here. They go under a couple of names here too. But generally, offset account. It's basically a loan that you can rewind at any time by taking money back. Yes. Do not enter into a loan that does not have this ability to do it. Well, no, you could, because then you can just change loans at any time to go to someone who will actually give you most banks will give you an equity loan. I think look up that term and you might get it. So but basically if you own your home, the bank will give you money. They'll loan you money, typically up to a certain percentage of the value of your house. So yeah. Stories. I was just going to say, you moved like that was the wife. Oh yeah, right. Pick up the phone. Yes. Yep. Oh, okay. Have I caught up to the? In Canada, it's called an interest offset mortgage. Okay. In the US, they're home equity line of credit. Yep. And home equity line of credit. Yeah, I don't know if you can get it at the same time as your loan. Like you may have to pay off your house first, or then I don't know what the deal is. But yeah, here Yep, you get it as an offset account. And then you can immediately put money into that. Like, yeah, you just don't put money into the home loan. You put it into the offset account because if you need it in some sort of emergency, you can take it back out. Whereas getting it back out of your home loan, usually a bit trickier. You know, there's paperwork and forms and they've got to approve it and stuff like that. So yeah, or there's a certain limit that you can actually take back out if it's in your loan. So yeah, it's just two separate bank accounts, loan account and an offset account. And if it's in the offset account, it's just like a bank. It is a regular bank account, except it's tied to the home loan and the interest comes off the balance of the loan, the actual account. Yes, a Bachelor of Engineering, Mike S, is a basic degree. I've done a video on that. How to become an engineer. It's quite comprehensive, I think. I can't remember what it's called. Can't remember the number, but I've done it. So that's why he said, don't pay it off. You can always take the money back. Yeah, but even if you pay it off, you can still go to any bank, and they will give you a line of credit on your house. They should. That's their business. That is their business, loaning out money. If they're not loaning out money, they're out of business. So yeah. Stuff isn't beer and hookers, no. In Canada's interest offset mortgage, internet and interest offset mortgage combines deposits and a mortgage in one line of credit. Okay, yep. HELOC, available if you have a specific percentage of more of the available equity. Yeah, you can't just pay off 5% of your house and then expect them to actually give you a loan. No, it doesn't work like that. Yeah. Okay, Daniel, you don't think it's as easy an offset account? That's just so common here. Here in Australia, I don't know why you get a home loan that doesn't have an offset account. I can't think of a reason why you'd want to do it unless maybe you wanted to save every scrap of interest. You know, you might be able to get maybe a slightly 0.1% less interest or something at one that doesn't offer you an offset account. But geez, yep, sorry, survey draws happened. You weren't a winner, sorry. Yes, I ended up replacing the shingled hard disk in my Synology array. I did a second channel video doing that. I even did temperature measurements, didn't I? Or something? Or was that part of the original video? Anyway, any performance improvement? No performance. Oh, no, there's no visible performance improvement. It was already, because it was already, my data transfer was, and reading and writing was already at the limit of the Ethernet connection. So there's no performance improvement at all. You got a telephone nook for holding the old-timey telephones. Yeah. Here in Australia, we'd have the telephone table. The telephone was always in the hallway. Always in the hallway. When they manufactured a house, that's where they'd put the telephone outlet, would be in the hallway, and you'd have a hallway telephone table. It'd be a table with a seat that you sat down on, and it had a thing beside you where the telephone would sit, and it'd have a nook underneath where you could put your phone book. And yep, every house had one of those. Great stuff. No one does that anymore. Oh yeah, those were the days. Yeah, use it to charge your cell phones now. Nice. Yep. Got to go, Christian. All right, thanks, mate. See ya. Yeah, 6 o'clock. I go home. I head home about 6:45, something like that. Usually ride home. It's daylight saving. Oh my God, it's so good. So good. I love daylight saving. I now ride home in the light. I don't ride home in the dark. It's not even peak daylight. It's just started and it's still light when I ride home at 7 o'clock. Great. Yep. It's so depressing. You come into the lab and then you leave and it's dark and it's like, oh God, What multimeter do I use for the PC overlay? I mentioned that. It's the National Instruments Virtual Bench. Don't buy one. They're so expensive. National Instruments Virtual Bench. We can use any PC-based software. It doesn't matter because it's not that software that's doing it. I'm simply screen capturing the HDMI output that goes to the screen. So I could use anything. It doesn't have to be the real expensive National Instruments jobby. So I used to have two. Oh man, I thought it was the duck's guts when I got a second phone line in the house. When I was, when I was a teenager living at home, and I had my business as well. I had my kid, I was selling stuff and everything, and of course modem, of course, So if you only have the one phone line, if you're calling up the bulletin board and then your parents picked up the line and they dropped the connection, So yeah, I remember it was the duck's guts when I got a second phone line installed. Then I could have a permanent fax machine. And before the internet, before the World Wide Web, I actually had a polled fax machine. So when I would publish an article in the magazine, I would put my fax number and you could poll, and I had a mailing list as well of customers and stuff. And you could poll my fax machine. It would actually store, I think, up to 2 sheets or something. So I would put all my price list or updates or whatever it was, any other info, store it on the 2 sheets, stored it in the fax machine, and then people would call my fax machine, poll it, and it would automatically send those pages back at their expense. And and my phone had ringing like five times a day. People polling my fax machine for my latest updates. And that was before the web. Who else here, does anyone else have the street cred of having set up a polled fax machine actually before websites came along? Anyone? Okura still has dial-up. Jeez. Yeah, Sarah. It's the thing with the scope, function gen, logic analyzer, power supply, digital I/O, all in one. It's like $4,000 worth or something. It's like, maybe like 4,000 Australian dollars or something. It's really expensive. I wouldn't recommend it in terms of bang per buck. It's nice for what it is, for a PC-based system that's used for education and stuff like that. It's pretty decent performer, but yeah, there's much better bang per buck. Yeah, you could get the analog discovery. Yeah, I could use the analog discovery in exactly the same way. It just doesn't have a nice multimeter front end, So, yeah. 20 lines. Brendan's got street cred. He had a 20-line BBS. Nice. Yep, yes, that SIGROC software, yeah, accepts a lot of multimeters, including the 121 GW as well. Yeah, I would have loved to have run a BBS as well, but yeah, I probably caught the tail end of it. By the time, I didn't have any money. I was like, we were just completely broke, So, yeah, we were dirt poor, like not just broke, like. Dirt poor. With your PE stamp, but you can fax it. Ah, yeah, really? Wow, Daniel. Yeah, fax machines are still a thing. Yeah, Brendan, yeah, you had a polled fax machine as well, but it wasn't your own system. Okay. You had an internal company BBS. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, for sharing stuff. Oh, yeah, that would have been the go, wouldn't it? Yeah, 4K, really expensive. Lived off his fax machine, Mike. Anyway, I should bugger off. This was only supposed to be the draw. So, don't know how long has this been going. Don't know. Doesn't want to tell me. Can't scroll back. Can't scroll back in my own live feed. Yeah. Anyway, I better bugger off. So thank you, everyone for joining me for the live draw. It was all above board. Yeah, I got to go email the winners. So there you go. It's a shame they weren't here to see it, but you know, I mean, there was only like less than 100 people watching. So the odds of them watching, not very high. 89 minutes. Thank you, Daniel. Because if it's over 2 hours, YouTube chops it and then it takes a day to process it or something. Cool. Thanks, guys. Catch you next time.